Hi everyone. Uh, I'm driving now, but I also want to make a short, maybe just a short video about what I'm thinking. So it's gonna be maybe a shorter video than my usual previous videos. Okay, so I want to talk actually about some you've heard about this or you've read about this a lot of times actually, especially nowadays, about how life everything is just a simulation, right? Maybe we're living inside a simulation or something like that, right? It's actually quite popular theory, I would say, nowadays, recently. So I just thought, I just think, and especially when people keep talking about, oh, life is like a video game, right? When we're talking about simulation, of course we usually associate with, for example, like video games, like if the Matrix, we're probably living inside some kind of like simulation, like a game, or whatever it is, you got my point, right? Basically, sorry, my English is not that good, so, and then I suddenly realized something, well, actually not suddenly, I've realized this for a long time actually, but just when I think about it right now, just now actually, sorry, something that occurs on my mind, like I don't think life is even a video game. Even if, let's say, if the simulation is real, or if we're living inside a simulation, let's say, okay, a simulation run by, I don't know, some entities, higher beings, or whatever it is, some people call it God, or universe, or aliens, maybe extraterrestrial, whatever, hyperdimensional beings, entities, or cosmic being, or whatever it is, higher dimensional creature, whatever it is, whatever theory it is, even if we're living inside like a simulation, especially when we're talking about like video game, right? I just want to say, if this world, if this life, if this existence is really a video game, right, then it is a video game that really sucks, right? I'm sure some of you, or perhaps even many of you, a lot of you will probably agree with me, right? If this is a video game, if we're living inside like a video game, a simulation run by who knows what, then it sucks, this video game sucks, but I even would argue, I would say, I just think actually just now, it's different. No, this is not like video game. So, in video games, if you play games, even in game, right, there are like stats, right? Stats, and then level, like there are different kind of different type of stats, right? Status, like, you can, usually in a video game, it's designed with what can I say, like there are some, by the way, I made this video all spontaneously, okay, so forgive me, I don't have a pre-written script or anything, so I just go as my thought, just spontaneously talking, okay. So kind of incoherent rambling, so please forgive me about that, okay. But I hope you get my point. You all guys get my point. You all get my point. So again, video game, right? Video game, the stats are usually positive, right? That's what I want to talk about. The leveling up, or I don't know, gacha, or I don't know what is it called in video game. It's been a while I haven't played video game. I used to be a gamer back then in the PlayStation 1 era, or back then in Super Nintendo era. So you can probably guess my age. I'm quite old actually. Middle age actually. So yeah, okay, I just want to make this video shorter because yeah, again, let me just make it short. My point is, you know, in video game, right? Usually the developer, the game developer, they will think, or they will make a game that have like the positive so to speak, leveling up, right? Or even if there is, okay, each character have a strength and weakness, right? But usually they still have the strength, right? And then when you look at real life, like our real world, real life, real world, okay, you can argue, maybe you can, some of you can argue, well, it's the same. I mean, in real world, in the real life, in real world, you know, some people are different, right? And each person have like her own quote unquote stats, right? Status, right? Status. Like, oh, maybe someone, you know, let's say A, B, C, D, E, okay? A, for example, A maybe have higher strength, you know, but lack intelligence, let's say. And then B, you know, this person B is designed, or maybe, you know, he or she is you know, smart but lack the strength, you know, or something like that, you know, things like that, you know. But what I want to talk about is, you know, in real life, in real world, usually the shitty aspect, right? The shitty thing is you know, the game, quote unquote, this game, this real life, real world game, this reality is designed so that, you know, it's more like who have it much worse, not who has it much, you know, wow, much more exciting, interesting, much better, you know. That's why I don't know, I keep saying online, you know, in my, you know, I don't know, whatever, you know, Reddit, you know, or some online forums or whatever, or even in YouTube comment, you know, sometimes I said, you know, or I'm just thinking, you know, if there is a God, if there is truly a God, or whatever, you know, alien, or the sentient universe, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, why it design a world that really sucks, you know, like this, you know, like this reality, real world, real life, right? And, you know, if we're talking about entertaining excitement, maybe our life is entertainment for these quote unquote higher beings, you know, divine beings, who knows, you know, extraterrestrial beings, you know, aliens, whatever it is, you know, if there is, you know, let's say, we assume, okay, of course we don't know, right? You know, I mean, if you you know, I also tend to be like, if you're like atheist or whatever, you know, maybe you or skeptics, let's just say, maybe you will say, you know, nothing, you know, or like scientifically speaking, maybe we're all just, you know, evolutionary speaking, everything just happened because of chance, right? Chance, you know, like Big Bang, whatever, you know, things like that. I know, and yeah, maybe it's true, you know. And even there is like a multiverse theory right now, right? So we don't know, you know, nobody knows, you know. But okay, let's say, but now in this video, I don't want to talk about this, you know. Let's just entertain our thoughts for a second, okay? Let's just entertain. Let's just assume. Suppose it's true, you know. Suppose it's real, you know, that hey, maybe we are all living in a simulation, a giant simulation or whatever it is, you know. You know, I mean, now we can already make AI, right? AI, artificial intelligence. So we don't know, you know, like maybe, hey, you know, and also about virtual reality. I'm talking, I talk about this also in my previous video. Go check it out if you guys want, if you all want, okay? So, you know, virtual reality is the same, right? Virtual reality, VR, you know, augmented reality, AR, you know, whatever it is, you know, it's all like as if now humans we're trying to create, like, you know, a simulation, basically, you know, an entirely new simulation, right? Which is cool, you know, but it does make us think, you know, if we can create like this, if humans can create simulation, then maybe, hey, maybe there are higher beings, something above us, you know, something above us on the food chain level, you know, that, you know, hey, maybe, you know, something create us, you know, something made us. I'm not necessarily talking about the traditional God, you know, concept of God, okay? But you know, basically, it's just, let's say, you know, if I have to cut this video short because I'm almost at my destination place, you know. So yeah, anyway, did you get my point? I hope you get my I hope you all get my point, right? At least some of you, maybe, if you're watching this video. I'm just saying, you know, this game sucks, you know. This real life, reality, real world game sucks. If it is, we are living indeed inside a game, video game, a big giant video game or simulation or the Matrix or whatever it is, you know. If we're living inside the Matrix or whatever it is, you know, it just sucks, you know. This world sucks, you know. This game sucks, you know. Sucks so bad, actually. It sucks so bad, you know. Like the design, the game design, you know, and everything, you know. There's even a meme about it, you know. I forgot, you know. Someone made a meme about it, you know. But it's true, you know. Like what is this, you know? What is this? What kind of game is this, you know? Seriously, you know. Seriously, what kind of game is this, you know? Like, oh my god, you know. The design, you know, and you know how, you know, some stats are made to be worse, you know, like as if, you know, the gods, you know, if it's real, they just want to see like who suffers more. That's my point. That's my point in this video, you know, my final point perhaps. Like as if it's designed to, you know, we're just the entertainment for the higher beings, you know, if they really exist, you know, like, oh, who suffer more, you know, we're like experiment, you know, lab experiment, you know. Oh, who can, you know, whose life have much worse, or maybe, you know, give this person some advantage, some strength, but hey, let's make him or her, you know, suffer in here or her, you know, there, you know, some pain, you know, some suffering, or some, you know, there is never perfection, right? You know, in this life, you know, there is always a problem, right? We were talking about real life, real world, reality, quote unquote game, you know, okay, you know, you see my point? I hope you get my point, right? Like it's so messed up, you know. It's so I'm sorry to say this, you know, it's so fucked up, you know. It's so fucked up, you know. The game design, you know, the quote unquote the exciting, interesting thing about this is only maybe we are all just entertainment, sick joke, you know. Life is a cruel, sick joke. Have you heard about it? Maybe it's just a cruel, sick joke, you know, for some, I don't know, some sick fuck mind, you know, like, you know, evil being, you know, or evil god. Even I will maybe some people would say, you know, Gnosticism. Gnostic believe that, you know, the demiurge concept, you know, things like that. Cosmic horror, Lovecraftian, if some of you have heard about it perhaps, you know. So yeah, it's really ridiculous, you know. It's absurd, you know, absurd, right? Like, why this world is designed like this, you know? Why life is designed like this? Why this existence, this reality, real life, real world is designed like this? Why not the other way, you know? Like for example, our, you know, the most fantastical video games, you know, games or whatever, you know, or movies or whatever it is, you know, like novels, you know, books, fantasy, sci-fi, science fictions. Why cannot these higher beings create, you know, or design more exciting, interesting things like that, actually, you know, more fantastic, fantasy, you know, more brilliant, I would even say, more, you know, really exciting, not this shit level kind of excitement, you know. Like, it's so crazy, it's so ridiculous, you know. Like, what is this, you know? Like, is our designer, let's say, you know, our creator are, you know, just some sick mind or something, you know. Like, they just want to see us, some of us at least, you know, suffer, you know, in different forms, you know, in different circumstances, right? In different situation, in different life situation, different problems, different situations. You know, some people have sickness, illness. Some people are poor. You know, some people have like loneliness. You know, some people, you know, broken marriage, relationship, broken family, or whatever it is. You know, whatever the problem it is, right? Whatever the problem is, right? Okay, you get my point, right? Like, there is no perfection here. There is no perfect thing. You know, there is no utopian, right? This is not paradise. This is not heaven. Not nirvana, whatever it is. You know, so we have to deal with imperfect system, imperfect world, you know, imperfect reality, life, you know. But if you think about it, you know, if you think deeper about it, you know, like, what is this, you know, this reality, real world, right? I have to stop for now. I don't know, maybe I will continue. Let's say if I can make maybe another video and I can, you know, combine it together. Okay, I have to find some the direction, the map direction. So okay, talk to you later. Okay, thank you.